by governments and banks, who controls crypto? Well, the beauty of crypto is it's controlled by nobody and everybody at the same time. Let's take Bitcoin, for example. The code is stored in thousands of nodes. That means the computers of tens of thousands of people who voluntarily run Bitcoin software on their computers. There's no central authority or mastermind behind it. All users effectively retain control, and it's in everyone's interest to keep the network active and healthy. And running it this way has all kinds of advantages over banks. Like, banks are only open business hours of the country they're based in. Blockchain functions non-stop, and bank payments can take up to 48 hours to clear. Bitcoin transactions take between 15 minutes to an hour. Number 8, the best security on the market. So if there's no big, powerful institution monitoring it, is it safe? The answer is a definite yes. It's got the best security out there, and that's down to the way the information is stored. Anytime a transaction takes place and digital money gets handed over to a new user, that gets recorded permanently and it can't be erased, even after it's changed hands. And remember, we said the data is stored by tens of thousands of users? Unlike a bank, which has one central database. If one user has an error, or if anyone tries to tamper with information, the other tens of thousands will cross-reference each other and correct it. And the bigger the network, the more secure it is. And in the case of Bitcoin, that's big, so you can count on it being secure. Number 9, the lowest fees by far. For any kind of investment you make, there are going to be fees. Fees for making, buying, selling, and even storing the investment. And this is also true of crypto. But the difference is that with crypto, fees are determined by users, and that means it's in their interest to keep them low, much lower than the ones you'll be charged by stockbrokers to invest in stocks or bonds. And the same goes for making transfers, especially international ones. Make a transfer through a bank and you're going to get slapped by a high fee. But with crypto, there are no institutions making a profit from these money transfers, which is a huge advantage to people doing business, and another reason why the adoption rate of crypto is just going to keep going up. Number 10, blockchain is here to stay. What you have to understand about blockchain is that Bitcoin and other crypto are built on blockchain in the same way that Facebook or Google are built on top of the internet. It's what makes crypto possible. But there's more to blockchain than crypto. We think that crypto is proof enough that blockchain is going to become more important. But just in case you needed more, let's just look at all the things blockchain is being used for. Big business is using it to record data. Companies like Pfizer, Walmart, Siemens, and Unilever use it to keep data which is too complex for a spreadsheet to record. Healthcare providers use it to store their patients' medical records safely, and there's potential for it to grow into records of property ownership. And in elections to keep track of votes and take away the need for recounts. Yep, that sure would have come in handy in 2020. Number 11, high returns if done right. We've already told you how much Bitcoin's gone up and how the long-term trend is bound to continue upward. So we won't repeat ourselves, but we will take the chance to tell you about a few other cryptocurrencies. In 2020, even with the pandemic in full swing, lots of crypto have seen big gains. The world's second largest crypto, Ethereum, started the year at $145 and is now at $600, and some are tipping it to be as popular as Bitcoin. And Ripple started the year at just over 20 cents and is now around 65 cents, and many others are headed in the same direction. Further proof that now's the time to get in the door if you haven't already. Number 12, it's in limited supply and can't suffer from inflation. Remember how we talked about how conventional currencies lose their value because of inflation? There's a simple reason why crypto doesn't. The supply is capped. This is written into the source code, which states that there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin ever produced. Currently, 18.5 million Bitcoins have been mined. Quick explanation. Mining means when advanced computers crack complex math problems and unlock the Bitcoins stored in the code. And even if new Bitcoins are still getting mined, there's no limit to this. Unlike with traditional money when banks decide to print it by the truckload, with Bitcoin, the number of new coins released slows down every 4 years, meaning the supply is limited, and that's the reason Bitcoin won't suffer from inflation. Number 13. The price is dictated by the market. No government can touch it. With traditional money, governments have lots of options for manipulating its value. We already mentioned printing new money. As well as that, they set interest rates, the price of borrowing government money, which has ripple effects for the rest of the economy. But with crypto, none of this is set by governments. Instead, everything is controlled by the free market, or how much people are willing to buy and sell it for. And besides that, governments can't freeze crypto accounts or look at records of who has how much in each account. That's because, unlike regular bank accounts, crypto accounts are pseudonymous. That means the holder doesn't disclose their true name or identity. Number 14. It's at an early stage and already disrupting markets. Since Bitcoin was created in 2009, meaning crypto is already over 10 years old. But now's the time it's really taking off, and the growth it's going to see over the next decade is going to be a whole load more exciting than what we've seen up till now. You could say the stage we're at now is like the internet in the 90s. In fact, if you look at the numbers of people who've adopted cryptocurrencies over the last decade, it looks a lot like the adoption of the internet back in the 90s. Deutsche Bank have pointed out this similarity too, and they predict the adoption rates are going to keep on the same rate as the internet of the 90s. In other words, it's going to keep going up in a spectacular way. And just like the internet disrupted literally everything over the last 20 years, we're probably looking at blockchain doing the same thing over the coming decades. Number 15. Big business is taking it seriously. Look at the list of companies that already accept payment in Bitcoin. Microsoft, AT&T, McDonald's, KFC and Subway, Virgin Galactic, Cheap Air, Gift, 4chan, Norwegian Air, Twitch, sports clubs like the Dallas Mavericks, Miami Dolphins, or Portuguese soccer club Benfica, and Wikipedia accepts donations in Bitcoin. True, other companies are still reluctant to allow payments in it because it's still volatile, but that's bound to even out over time, and more big businesses will accept Bitcoin and other crypto as payment. And remember how we mentioned that Twitter's Jack Dorsey talked about it being the future of money? Well, he's put his money where his mouth is, and his payments company Square has invested $50 million in Bitcoin. All proof that big business is taking crypto seriously, and so should you. So, Aluxers, what do you think is the most exciting reason for getting into crypto now? Let us